Be me. I work as a night security guard. I work at a mostly empty industrial park. It's honestly kind of a shitty job. Really boring, but it gets the bills paid. I spend most of my shifts walking around the perimeter, just checking for break-ins and looters or anything out of the ordinary, anything that does not look right. Luckily for me, not much really happens out here. The money is good at least, and it's usually dead quiet. Perfect for getting in some extra sleep in between rounds patrolling. There is this one specific building in this complex. It's an old, abandoned warehouse style type of thing that is located at the far end of the complex. It has been here the entire time I've worked the job. Weirdly, it is not even a part of my patrol route. I have never been briefed on it, but also never been told specifically to avoid it either. It just kinda goes unmentioned, I guess. I have always given it a wide berth on my rounds. Figured if they wanted it checking, they would have told me so directly. Plus, it saves me putting in extra effort. So, I've never been inside. Call me lazy if you want to. To tell the truth, it has always given me a weird feeling when walking anywhere near it. Does not help that I've heard lots of rumors from other guards about what used to be stored in that place. People who used to work the same job, other guards around town. You get to know people in the industry and make friends with them. That's what I've always found anyway. The general tale, I am told, is that the place was used as a front for some seriously shady stuff quite a few years ago. They say that one day, they just randomly stopped using it, and that was it. I genuinely could not tell whether it was meant to be like a spooky campfire tale or whatever. Either way, I avoided it for reasons I previously mentioned. This particular night, around a week ago. It was a Wednesday, around 11 p.m.-ish, I want to say. I'm over at the back end of the complex, walking the usual route, checking doors, scanning cameras. My flashlight flickers off for a second or two. No big deal. It happens sometimes. I always figured it was electrical interference or something of the like. Anyway, I stop for a second and it comes back on. But, as I am waiting, I happen to see something up above me. Through the half-lit windows of the warehouse that my flashlight just came back on and hit. It looked like something moving. Looked like just a shadow at first, but there was very clearly something there. A figure of some sort. I saw it move again. I'm not a rookie or new to the job. I've been working in security more than long enough to know when something major is up. I know how to keep to myself and keep myself safe and when not to do things. This was one of those times. Play it safe, report it, and just fulfill my regular duties. I felt like I needed to check though. I had a nagging feeling that would not go away. I walked over to it. As I was approaching, I could see my still flicked on flashlight beam reflecting off of something inside the place. Something metallic. The door was half open, just cracked ever so slightly. Just wide enough for the average built person to slip through. I had never really gotten close enough to check before, but I could have sworn this door was supposed to be sealed shut. I just stood, staring for a moment, thinking about what to do. Why was it not locked? Hell, why was it not even shut all the way? I kind of went back and forth with myself in my head, over and over. I should just report it and leave it. But then again, this is exactly what I am paid for. There could easily be someone who had broken in and doing who knows what in there. Besides, it's not like I had anything to do aside from walk around the same route again and again and then go and sit on my ass and fall asleep. I relented and decided to at least peer inside. I pushed the door open and immediately I was hit by a horrible smell. It's like a mix of damp concrete, rust, and something else. Something rotten almost. Sour. It made me want to vomit right then and there. I took a step in and tried to scope the place out with my flashlight. There were abandoned shelves, barely holding together. Lots of broken glass littering the floor and bits of furniture tossed everywhere. It did not immediately look like anyone had been here. Nothing initially struck me as out of place. Then I heard a noise. A soft one, only just audible. Sounded like it was coming from further into the building. Like footsteps, but more like shuffling or something. Not full steps. Like someone was trying to be silent intentionally. Fuck's sake. Someone was definitely hiding out in here. Whether a homeless dude, a druggie, or some idiot kid, it just made my job way harder. I was gonna have to go in and kick them out, and then file a report to my boss. I kept going forward into the building. I tried to almost creep through. Not the best idea, but if it turned out to be some crazy fucker with a knife, yeah, I would rather get the jump on them and risk scaring the life out of some teenage kid. Would serve them right anyway. I did have a weird gut feeling though, the kind you develop after working this job for a long time. I did not really want to go any further. Then I caught something with my flashlight. It caught something tucked away in the corner of the room. Some weird piece of equipment. Not something that I really recognized. It was like an old, rusty barrel with tubes and wires hanging off of it. Did not look like something that really belonged here. At least, I've never seen anything like it in a warehouse before. Like, I cannot stress enough how odd this shit looked. Made me think that maybe all the rumors I was told were true. But if so, what the fuck was this for? There's also this weird, low hum coming from it. I thought I was imagining it, but I definitely heard it. I moved closer to press my ear closer to it. But then I spotted something else lying on the floor. What looked like a man, I think. He is slumped over in front of a barrel. His back is facing me. I can't hear any breathing. He is only just visible in the darkness. I called out to him. No response. I kind of expected it. I have a really horrible feeling now. I am thinking this is the guy I saw in the window and that he had hurt himself or something like that. I took another step closer and my boots end up crunching something on the floor. A glass shard or a metal shard. That alone would have made me shit my pants with how tense the moment was. But the man, he jerks at the sound. His head snaps around to face me in an instant. But that was not all. This guy, he was fucking dead. Very clearly. What gave it away? The fact that he is fucking decaying. The skin on his face is falling off in patches and it looked like someone or something had gnawed at the flesh on his cheek. Bone was starting to show. His clothes are tatters, but his eyes are wide open, bloodshot. The veins are bulging in them. His mouth is just hanging open, like he was gasping for air or something, but there is no breathing or noise. I am wondering, how the fuck did he snap around? Did I knock him when I stepped forward? Did I do it when I panicked at the crunching noise and the fright made me not remember? That's not all. There was something attached to his back. A weird mess of wires and tubes snaking into his body. There was some kind of metal contraption that dug in down his back and into his spine too. The tubes were empty when I saw them, but what the fuck? Like some kind of medical experiment gone wrong. I checked the wires. He was hooked up to something. That weird piece of equipment, the humming one. That is where the wires led to. At this point, I had no idea what to think or what I was even looking at. I noticed his body kind of twitching ever so slightly as the equipment hummed. I said fuck this and decided it was time to let someone with more authority sort this shit out. I left just as quickly as I entered. Went straight out and finish my shift without moving. I did not even do the rest of my rounds. I tried to call up my boss, but he did not answer, so I assumed he was asleep. When I managed to get in contact with him the next day, he told me that the company would ensure that there was a thorough investigation and to leave it to them. They gave me a few days off. Nah, I am not stupid. I called the police straight after. Whatever the fuck was going on in there, none of it is being pinned on me. That shit was nothing to do with my shift. The officer on the phone, I could tell by his tone, he was a little sketched out. They still said they'd send an officer over to check it out and speak with my boss. I went back into work after maybe 3 days off. My boss called me in and told me I was being let go. Did not give an explanation. Just told me I wasn't living up to the high standards of the company. Bull fucking shit. It did not matter to me. Like I say, I've worked in this industry a long time, so it did not take long for a friend of mine to offer me another gig. They probably just wanted to sweep whatever I found under the rug to protect their reputation. Assholes probably decided to blame it all on me for someone breaking in and dying. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed the story so far. If you do and you want to hear more, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment down below, as it lets the algorithm know that you like my content and it promotes it to more people. My goal for the channel is to hit 50,000 subscribers, and we're closing in fast, so thank you, and back to the stories. One of the scary instances that happened to me. Apologize for being pre-funds, so no funds in this one. B20-something. Metalhead, with metalhead friends. NorCal East Bay area, before everything went to complete shit in that state. We all like to party, and being in the Tri-Valley area, there was fuck all to do. We made things interesting now and then, and would find weird spots to get fucked up. One night, bored of getting fucked up at bro's house, decided to go somewhere and get shit-faced. One metalhead bro says he knows of an abandoned mine out on Tesla Road. We all agree, gather up bros and broettes, about 8 of us, grab beers, weed, flashlights, and head out. Drive up in the hills. Area around the Altamont Pass is always windy. Always. That's why there's so many windmills. Fucking wind howling that night. Brush and scraggly trees being bent this way and that. Blasting Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica as we drive. Takes a good half hour to get to the destination. Pick related. Park cars here. Pile out. Metal bro says no flashlights, as it is private property, and the light will be seen. Hop the gate, and start walking between the hills. Shit is creepy out here. Wind howling between the brown grassy mounds. Clouds making flickering shadows. Light alternating between bright to dark as they rip across the sky. Exit between 2 hills, and a rolling valley opens up. Way off in the distance is the only man-made light from a distant building. Walk along a dirt path that rounds to the right, about half a mile of walking. What the fuck, metal bro? You didn't say we'd have to walk this fucking far. Lazy asses. Distinct feeling of isolation, and can literally feel the distance between where we're at and where the cars are parked. Fuck. Hope nothing happens. As we round a bend, a pit opens up down the path, with old mine trailings piled up. Face of a large hill is scarred from early 1900s mining operations. Old abandoned equipment stands alone in the pit where the trailing are. Metal bro says nope. Entrance we need is up the face of it. Walk up a narrow path above the pit. When we get up to the top of the trail, Metal bro points. That's our entrance. What the fuck? Tiny opening we have to crawl for to get inside the mine. Everyone including bitches crawling in. I follow. Flashlights on. Big cave with tons of graffiti inside. Empty beers everywhere. Towards the back, 2 paths lead out of the main chamber. One to the left and one to the right. Right side is a vertical descent straight down. Old wooden ladder with broken rungs. Left side is another large opening, with a narrow trail around the circumference. Middle is filled with debris that slopes down into a pit on one side, like an antlion pit. Proceeded to get shit-faced. Beers drank, weed smoked. Maybe 45 minutes pass. Having good time. Hear noise. Not from entrance. From deeper inside the cave. Fuck, what was that? Everyone looking at each other nervously. Silence descends. Mood goes from party central to stone cold sober. Hear another noise. Two brave or stupid bros decide they were going to look. Okay, have fun with that. Can't go down ladder. No fucking way to. Would be suicide for sure. They go the left path. Watch as the two idiots walk the narrow path around the antlion pit. Their flashlights disappear. As they reach the far side and continue on into another part of the mine, rest of us are silent, looking at each other. Moaning noise. Not even remotely human. It came from the vertical shaft. Almost positive. Cave with previously still air suddenly has movement. Can feel a very slight, very cold breeze. Can hear bros coming back, fast. More noises heard. Not just the noise of bros' shoes as they're coming back, but other noises. Like something moving, following after them. Oh, fuck this shit. Bros say, get the fuck out. Cramming through tiny opening to get back outside. Wind screaming, clouds covering most of the sky, hardly any light. All of us are out. We're running back down the road. Look behind. Something shadowy emerges from the mine entrance. Jesus fuck. We are all running as fast as we can. The lights in the building way in the distance are off now. Car can be seen on the road where the building is, headed towards us, moving slowly but with purpose. We round the hill, hop the gate, and get in the cars, firing up the engines. Something is there, between the hills, away back from the gate. Holy shit, drive. Can see soft glow as the headlights from the vehicle that was driving up the path start to illuminate the side of the hill. Dark thing. Looks like it turns its head towards the direction the vehicle is coming, then darts up the right side of the hill into the darkness. Fucking haul ass out of there. No music on the way back. We are all silent. Bitches are shaking and almost in tears. Get back to bro's house. We all just look at each other for a few minutes, then call it a night. To this day, we don't know what it was, why it was chasing us. We never went back to that place again. I still think of that night, whenever the clouds are tearing across the sky in front of the moon. This is the second time I'm sharing this experience with anyone besides my partner. First time was a couple years back on this very board. Although the thread was moving so fast, I doubt anyone read it. I know the premise reads like a bad creepypasta, and doesn't hold up to the slightest amount of scrutiny. Nevertheless, I am fully convinced I did not dream or hallucinate this after corroborating the event with my uncle after the fact. If you are capable of suspending your disbelief, I hope you all find this story interesting. It mystifies me to this day. Be me, around 10 or 11 years old, on a vacation to Oak Island, North Carolina with my parents, siblings, grandparents, and uncle. One of the days we're there, we pile into our cars to catch a ride on the ferry off the island. If I recall, the destination was some adjacent island that had an aquarium. My parents and siblings are riding together. Chose to ride with grandparents and uncle, cause my uncle is one cool hombre. We're just riding along, early-ish in the day, summer sun shining bright. I believe we were trailing close behind my parents for the duration of the drive. Everything is normal. We're nearing the ferry checkpoint, just one less town we gotta drive through. I remember the town looking almost stereotypical, like a piece of preserved Americana, an antique of a town. Been over a decade now, so the imagery is spotty, but I distinctly remember a blue frilly decoration tied up near the entrance of the town. Cars line both sides of what could be considered Main Street. Cafes, various random businesses, nice houses every so often. The first weird thing I noticed was one such cafe. catch a glimpse through the window of people, except they weren't moving. Weird. Then a lady walking her dog, both completely frozen like mannequins. Next, a man working on his truck with a hose in one of his hands, completely frozen except for the hose, which was still running water. Eventually, we reach the checkpoint. The day resumes as normal. For the entire duration of the ride, and the rest of the day after that, nobody mentioned anything about the town that we just rode through. Even as I was witnessing it, I felt a strange sense and did not attempt to speak, to ask if anybody else was seeing this and what was happening. Oddly, didn't think about it much after. If I did, I chalked it up to a dream or imagination, since nobody mentioned it to me at the time or after. Many years later, hanging out with my uncle like usual, he's dicking around on the computer. Out of nowhere, he asked me, "Hey, Josh, do you remember the Mannequin Town?" Shit breaks, and feel like a weight has been lifted off me. We start discussing it with each other. One of us will bring up some random detail that was buried in our minds, and it instantly clicks like, oh shit, I do remember that. How could I have forgotten? We both recount that strange sensation of not wanting to talk about it as it was happening, and how weird it was that we just sat there and witnessed it like it was normal. It was pretty clear. He was pretty happy to finally talk about it, just like I was, just to know we're not crazy. Now every couple of years, one of us will bring it up again, like, you still remember Mannequin Town? That was wild. I think to make sure it really did happen, Lamau. So yeah, weird dealia. Dunno if we drove through some pocket dimension, or if we had a simultaneous, impromptu acid trip. Either way, that's really the only super strange thing I've ever experienced in my life. Did some cursory digging over the years, and never found any explanation, or even similar stories about Mannequin Town. Hey X, I have some OC I can contribute. It's not the craziest shit here, nor am I a gifted storyteller, but it is a true story of something that happened to me almost 10 years ago, and this will be my first time posting it anywhere. Summer 2010, I'm 18 and a prick about it. Rural Ontario, Canada. Fuck all to do. Hanging with GF at the time and her friend. For simplicity, we'll refer to GF as GF, and her friend as AC. It's nearly 1 in the morning. GF and AC are looking up spooky places. Hey Anon, this one's actually not far. We should go there right now. My face when, it's an hour-and-a-half drive from here. Be impulsive and agree to drive there. Me and GF in front, AC in back. For context, the place we were going is a small stretch of road that runs up the Niagara encampment on the outskirts of Burlington, known as the Magnetic Hill. Story is, if you put your car in neutral at the bottom of a certain hill on that road, it will slowly roll uphill from a dead stop, and if you spread a powder on your rear bumper, you will see finger impressions as though the car was pushed. I guess that due to the sharp corners and steep drop-offs, several people have died on this road, and there are many accounts of everything from paranormal activity to UFO sightings. I looked more into this after the fact. The night we went there, I only knew it was supposed to be haunted, and a spooky ghost might strong-arm my heavy old car up a hill. Get stuck listening to 2000s pop music, and autistic screeching from backseat the entire drive. Arrive pissed. Get to hill. Do the thing. Car barely moves an inch. No fingerprints. No happenings. Nothing at all. Waste of a night and half a tank of gas. What a joke. Light cig, and loudly proclaim this. Continue driving up the narrow winding road. Start saying shit to egg ghosts on out the window. Literally daring any presence to make a move. Throw a cigarette butt out window like a dick. In hindsight, I think that's what did it. A little about this car. I paid $250 for it. One of the many features that come with a $250 car, aside from having to start it with a screwdriver because a crackhead stole it, was that it didn't have a headliner. Turns out, they're not just there to look pretty, but also act as a sound deadener, so whenever anything touched that roof, you'd hear it loud and clear inside. Throw butt out window. Don't make it another 50 feet down the road, when something knocks on the roof of the car. I mean a very loud, very distinct, and evenly spaced anybody home type of knock knock knock. This wasn't something that could be explained away by an acorn bouncing off or some shit. AC fucking loses it. Lets loose the squeal of 1,000 hogs. GF white with fear, wide-eyed, trying to look in all directions at once. I step on the gas, desperately checking my mirrors for something bouncing off the road that might explain it. Nothing there. Suddenly hear a rubbing and grinding loudly, as if someone is wedged up in the back of the passenger wheel well. Had to be the farthest one. Stop car and get out. Check everything. Look under the car, behind the tire. Nothing there. Notice that other than the engine idling, it was dead quiet. Same as other anons have described. No wind, and not a single living thing making noise, like the woods gets when there's a predator nearby. Start driving and noise is now gone. All occupants of the vehicle agree it's time to turn around. Make it around a couple of bends and the noise is back, but now I can feel it, so stop to check again. Fuck me, it's flat. Pick related. We brought a camera. Last thing I needed. GF and AC are losing their shit in the least helpful way possible. Not staying on this fucking road, I drive on the flat anyway. Close to the end of the road was a park with a small parking area and couple streetlights. Decide I'll change the tire here. Get to the park. Every lug nut is seized to the hub. Shitty car jack handle can't get the leverage I need to crack them loose. See the first of a car all night. Try to wave them down, but they floor it. Literally peel their tires to get away from us. All of us start hearing things across the park or in the trees. Feel like we are being watched. Decide fuck the tire and the rim. We are leaving now. Drive and don't stop until we are well off that road. Be current year. Reading greentext stories on X and remember this. Check these pictures for the first time in years. Realize they were taken at 3:36 a.m. My face when, the witching hour. My face when, the knock and flat likely occurred at right around 3:22 a.m. That's pretty much it for the paranormal part. I will say, the lug nuts being seized was strange to me. I know my way around cars, and I use a torque wrench when I do my tires. The rest of the night and morning was pretty stupid too, and involved catching the night security at a Mercedes dealer, playing COD 4 online at the main display in the showroom, but nothing paranormal. Pick related is what I took of the park, but I couldn't see anything too odd about it. I don't know if I've posted this before, but this is my first true spook story. I've had shit like sleep paralysis, but I always knew it was a hallucination, sort of this. I don't know about this though. I'm Canadian. It is about 2014, and I live in Scarborough. Best friend lives on a really old forested street. I am at his house. There were 2 girls over. We had been double dating these 2 girls, but I soon realized it was not my thing. Told my friend that I had no intention of making out with this girl, and that bruh, please do not leave me alone with her. Ends up making out with her friend in his washroom. Shit, I'm left alone. The Island was playing. I try to make small talk about the movie and keep things PG. Soon I realize I have to escape. It's about 3 o'clock. Text my friend and he's like, shit, sorry, and he manages to escape washroom. To be fair, while I cock-blocked him, he wasn't into that girl either. Make up BS about how I have to be at work and that I'm fairly conservative and take my time. Friend backs this up. I leave. I've only had a few glasses of whiskey and I'm fine. Walking down the street. It's dark as fuck. I've been out here many times, so I am okay. I hear faint giggles in the distance, though the street seems dead empty. At the end of the road, there is a house with a row of densely packed trees and a long, gated fence. I see a large, white orb / sphere floating in a pattern between the trees. Spooked the fuck out, I call out. Is someone fucking with me? I pick up a piece of sharp wood lying in a ditch and continue down the road. There is nothing in front of this house, and I couldn't fathom how anything could have gotten that high up near the trees and fence. I have no idea what I saw. Street seemed dead silent, other than that giggle, and no one was around. Creeped me out. I have a few paranormal stories, mainly campfire story kind of stuff. Spooky, but probably has an explanation. And while I'm a bit of a skeptic, I did live in a house I would call haunted because of a few unexplainable things. The house was built in the 20s. No known deaths or anything crazy in its history, but I would definitely say it was haunted. Quite a few weird bumps and doors open that were left closed, but I'll post the notable things. Be me, watching house while family on vacation. Go upstairs. There is a circular wooden staircase in the corner of the house, leading to a central hallway. The upstairs rooms are around. The master bed and 2 bedrooms, connected by a bathroom. I'm staying in one. As I go upstairs, switch the stair light off and the hall light on. Halfway down hallway, hear the switches physically click behind me. Now the stairs light is on, and I'm halfway down the hallway in the dark. Nope. Head back to switches, and turn them back to the position they were in. Hear running water in wall, and faucet turn on in master bedroom. Nope too, nope harder. Grab pistol from car and search house, all closets, etc. Attic access in furnished 3rd floor is open. Small space. Nothing in there or out of place. Move furniture in front of access door. Arm alarm. Sleep in car that night, because fuck that. Another time. Living in garage apartment in college. Get on Skype on Xbox One Connect to connect with some buddies who've moved away before playing Vidya. Testing Skype on Connect. Has a cool function where the camera zoom will follow your upper body/face if you get up and walk around. It's cool, so I enable it. In call with buddies. Camera keeps switching from me and tracking nothing, zooming into random places, and sometimes slowly panning the room behind me. This happened a few times. This shouldn't have happened, because when it did, I was seated in front of the camera, so it should be tracking me. Buddies know about the house and make haunted house jokes. We only lived in the house for a few years. The next owners demolished it. Nothing spooky. Rich people next door bought it slowly to add its plot of land to theirs. They also bought one other house while we were living there, whose property touched theirs, that they demolished and built an addition on. Plenty of other things happened, but were more explainable, like opening doors or creaky floor in the attic. Only one other story is a dream I had, but that is pretty subjective. I'll greentext it for giggles. Be in garage apartment. Be dreaming, but not knowing I'm dreaming. Get out of bed. The room is dark. Not just dark, but like high contrast dark. Like moonlight indoors in a black and white film. I didn't really process this in the dream, but did when I woke up. Hit light switch. Light doesn't come on. Must be the breaker. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere around the garage. Walk downstairs and into backyard. Backyard is different. Where some patio furniture we had put with stones and a pergola instead had a bit of shed there, mostly enclosed on 3 sides, more of a lean-to, with some miscellaneous tables and stuff. Walk inside, looking for Beaker. Hear the sound of the heater kicking on. Wait, doesn't that mean the power is on? Wake up in bed at like 2 a.m. It was a dream. Incredibly lucid, and I woke up with a photographic memory of it. Weird dream, but I wouldn't really include it in the haunted house story, but it stuck with me.